වාණිජ, විද්‍යා, ගණිත, කලා, තාක්ෂණ වේදය, විෂය ධාරාවන් වල සියලුම විෂයන් සඳහා විශ්වවිද්‍යාල කතිකාචාර්යවරුන් සහ රජයේ පාසල්වල ප්‍රවීණ ආචාර්ය මණ්ඩලය විසින් මෙහෙයවනු ලබන දේශන නැනපවුර YouTube channel ඔස්සේ නැරඹිය හැක. ඉදිරි දේශන දැනගැනීම සඳහා නැනපවුර YouTube channel subscribe කරන්න. දැයි දූ දරුවන්ගේ අනාගත ජයග්‍රහණයට.
ආයුබෝවන් හැමෝටම. දැන් පටන් ගන්න යන්න අපේ සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ තුවාදරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් සූදානම් කරලා තියෙන ඉංග්‍රීසි සාහිත්‍ය දේශනය. ඉතින් මේ සඳහා අපිත් එක්ක අපේ ආදරණීය කල්පනා සේනානායක මැඩම් එකතු වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ඔයාලට කියන්න ඕනේ ඔයගලන්ට අදාළ විෂය දේශන අපේ නැනපවුර YouTube channel එකේ තියෙනවා. ඒ දේශන අරබන්න ඔයාලට හැකියාව තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මතක් කරලා channel එක subscribe කරන්න, bell icon එක click කරන්න අමතක කරන්න එපා. එහෙනම් මේ ආරාධනය අපිත් එක්ක එකතු වෙන අපේ කල්පනා මැඩම්ට. ආයුබෝවන් මැඩම්.
ආයුබෝවන්. ගොඩක් ස්තුතියි නැනපවුර නිර්මාතෘ ප්‍රභාත් සර්ට, ඒ වගේම පවත්වාගෙන යන සියලුම දෙනාට. මේ වගේ අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙන එක ගැන ඇත්තටම අපි හැමෝටම සතුටුයි. මටත් ලොකු දායකත්වයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. ඒ වගේම දරුවන්ටත් ගොඩාක් ලොකු වටිනා ආදර්ශයක්, වටින දෙයක් මේ කරන්නේ. හරි, අපි වැඩි දුර කතා කරන්න යන්නේ නැතුව අපි යමු අද අපේ ලෙසන් එකට. So today we are going to start the one of the prescribed poems which are there in your syllabus. That means the fear, right? So this the poem Fear is there in your syllabus. It is prescribed to be done in the third term of your grade 11 syllabus. So we are moving on with our presentation. So I have prepared my presentation. So we are going to deal with that. Okay, my dear students. So let's have a small look at this, the poem, right? So here you can see from the picture itself, there is a very good relationship, right? So you can see the picture, and the picture shows a relationship between a mother and a daughter. So here, as represented by the picture, so here fear means you can understand the you can understand the word from the topic itself, that there is a very big deal out, right? So the topic of the poem, you can understand from that topic something which is these are the feelings, something which we arise, which is aroused within ourselves, right? So fear is a feeling which arise. අපිට අපේ කියලා දෙයක්, අපේත් කියලා දෙයක් නැති වෙයි කියලා බය තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ we fear about losing something, we fear about having it. ඔය වගේ දේවල් වලට අපි ඔය වගේ දේවල් වලදී අපි මේ fear කියන concept එක භාවිතා කරනවා, right? Okay, so here we fear of different things. That means we fear of contacting with people, we fear of losing people, we fear of losing things, and we fear of getting into new things, we fear of adhering to another aspect. ඔය වගේ අපි changes වලට fear කරනවා, අපි එක එක දේවල් වලට fear කරනවා නේද? Fear means බය වෙනවා, right? ඉතින් ඔය වගේ මෙතනදී in this poem, this is a sort of another fear which is aroused in sort of a mother's inner mind. අම්මා කෙනෙක්ගේ මනස ඇතුලේ ඇති වෙච්ච fear එකක්, බයක්, තැතිගැන්මක් ගැන තමයි මේ poem එකේ අපි කතා කරන්න යන්නේ. හරි. So you can understand the fear of you can understand the relationship between you and your mother, right? So you and your mother is a sort of is having a sort of building up a relationship between you two, you and your mother. They are building up a very strong relationship between, right? In between you two people, there must be a very strong relationship between you people, right? ඉස්කෝලේ ගිහිල්ලා ගෙදරට ආපු ගමන් ටක් ගාලා අපි ගිහිල්ලා දුවගෙන යන්නේ අපේ අම්මා ළඟට. අම්මා ළඟට ගිහිල්ලා ඊට පස්සේ අපි කතා කරනවා, ඉස්කෝලේ වෙච්ච දේවල් කියනවා, සමහර අයට සමහර ලාවට ඉස්කෝලේදී වෙච්ච ප්‍රශ්න, සමහර ලාවට අපිට ගොඩාක් තැන්වලදී අපි අසරණ වෙන තැන් තියෙනවා. ඒ අසරණ වෙන තැන් හැම තැනකදීම අපේ අම්මා තමයි. We feel that our mother is the best place, best solace we find in our lives, right? So we'll move on to discuss about the poem, right? Yes, so you can understand from the poem itself. The style of the poem is straightforward and simple. අපි poem එකට චුට්ටක් යන ගමන් මේ ටික ගැන කතා කළොත් හොඳයි. ඒක නිසා මම poem එක ලියපු කෙනාට ළඟට යනවා. So this is about the writer. මේ ඉන්නේ පුතේ ලියපු කෙනා. So you can understand මෙයාගේ real name එක. The poet's real name is Lucila Godoy Alcayoga, right? අපිට ඒක මතක තියාගන්න චුට්ටක් අමාරුයි. ඒ වගේම ඒක this he has yes, the writer is using her pet name Gabriela Mistral, right? So this is a Chilean poet. That means she was born in Chile, a diplomat, an educator, and the first feminist Latin American poet. පුතේ feminist කියලා කියන්නේ කවුද? A person who is speaking about the feminism. That means feminism කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? What do you mean by feminism? පුතේ feminism කියලා කියන්නේ, feminism is a thing. Now when you call about females and males and females, when we deal out with the two people, you can understand that there are some differences between males and females. Females, the ගෑන් ළමයි පිරිමි ළමයි ගත්තාම there are differences among themselves. ඒගොල්ලෝ අතරේ තුරේ තියෙනවා differences. මොනවාද? A boy is a very strong person, right? A boy is a very we say handsome for him. Very handsome, smart. ඔය වගේ වචන තමයි අපි boy කෙනෙක්ට පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. නමුත් ගෑන් ළමයෙක්ට අපි එහෙම පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. So when we deal out with a girl, we are going to discuss her beauty, her eyes, her lips, all these things, her feelings. එයා girl කෙනෙක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඕනම චූටි දෙයකට පවා දුක් වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ චූටි දෙයක් පවා ලොකු දෙයක් කරලා ගන්නවා. නේද? So mainly you can understand about your mother and your about your mother, loved ones ne අපේ ළඟම ඉන්න කෙනා, අපේ අම්මා, අපේ තාත්තා, ඔය වගේ කට්ටිය ගැන අපිට ගෙදරදිම මේ feminism කියන දේ හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. So ladies cry mostly. They are shedding their tears each and every time. Most probably they are shedding their tears, right? So they become hurt very quickly. ඒගොල්ලෝ හරි ඉක්මනට hurt වෙනවා, හරි ඉක්මනට හිත රිදව ගන්නවා. So the first feminist Latin American poet, ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයා feminist කියලා කියන්නේ මෙයා මේ කාන්තාවන්ගේ තියෙන female qualities අඳුරගෙන ඒවා සමාජයේ මොකද කරන්නේ? අයියෝ ඔකටත් අඬනවද? ඔකත් ගණන් ගන්න දෙයක්ද? So people say like that. But we are the people, අර කියන්නේ we are the people, the person who is suffering is the person who is knowing about the suffers, right? එයා මගේ දුක ගැන දන්නේ මං විතරයි කියලා කියන ගොඩක් අය, right? So this is a Latin American poet to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1946, and her birth is on 7th of April 1889, and she has died in 10th of January 1957, right? So you can see the writer. Okay. Then we are moving on to discuss about the poem. So you can see, even though the title of the poem is Fear, the poetess highlights the anxiety more than fear. Anxiety means what is the difference between the anxiety and the fear? Anxiety කියලා කියන්නේ පුතේ ලෝභකම, අපිට දෙයක් අතාරින්න තියෙන බය, anxiety. And what do you mean by fear? Fear means fear of losing somebody, right? So this is mother's anxiety. So this is about a mother's anxiety. අම්මා කෙනෙක්ගේ තියෙන mother's anxiety. Right. Then we are moving on. The next one, the point. Okay, the points focused here are universal. So here the mother is very lonely feeling, right? Mother is feeling very lonely without this. Mother is imagining, if my girl goes away from me, what will happen for me? අම්මා කෙනෙක්ගේ තියෙන කාන්සාව දුක ඔය දේවල් ගැන තමයි මේ poem එකේ fear කියන topic එක තිබ්බට discuss කරන්න. So every mother has this kind of fear. මේ poem එක කියුවට පස්සේ ඔයාලට තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි ඔයාලගේ අම්මලා ඇයි මෙච්චර ඔයාලව ආරක්ෂා කරන්නේ කියලා. ඇයි මෙච්චර ඔයාලව ඔයාලගෙන් ප්‍රශ්න කරන්නේ? ඇයි මෙච්චර ඔයාලගෙන් එකම දේ ගැන ඔයා මේ දේ කළාද? පුතේ ඇයි එහෙම කරන්නේ? So ඇයි අම්මා මෙච්චර දේවල් කතා කරන්නවත් එක්ක? මේ poem එක කියුවට පස්සේ ඔයාලට තේරෙයි, right? We'll understand. Every mother has this kind of fear, worry, hope. අපේ දරුවන් ගැන අපේ අම්මලාට තාත්තලාට තියෙන එකම එක විශ්වාසයයි. So the thing is they have the wish of taking their children into upper level than them. ඒකලට වඩා ඉහළ තැනකට ගේනයි මේ යාළගේ අම්මලාට තාත්තලාට ඕනේ, right? Especially a mother. අම්මා කෙනෙක්ට විශේෂයෙන්, right? Every mother has this kind of fear, worry, hope and tension about her child or children would become, right? When they make ඔයා කරන්නේ මේ අද ගැන හිතලා එහෙම නැත්නම් හෙට දවස ගැන හිතලා, but your mother will think more than that. Mother will see 10 years after the disastrous effect, right? ඉතින් අම්මා කියනවා පුතේ don't do this. No, don't do this. This is not correct. This is not the correct thing. Right? අම්මා කියනවා මේක නෙමෙයි නිවැරදි දේ පුතේ. So you do this in this way. You don't do this in that way. Right? So අපිට ඉතින් ඕක හරි කරදරයක් මේ කාලෙදී. But still you have to understand what kind of fears these mothers are having about you. ඔයාලා ගැන තියෙන මොන වගේ හැඟීමක්ද ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ අම්මලාට ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගැන තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙන්න ඕන. හරියට මම ඉගැන්නුවොත් මේ poem එකේ මම ඇත්තටම literature කියන දේ උගන්වන්නේ. හරියට මම මේ literature මම මේ fear කියන poem එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියලා දුන්නොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒක දැනුණොත්, so you can understand that whether you can understand your mother or not, right? Then some others also have very high hopes. Some parents are fear of having hopes, right? Some others also have very high hopes. They are very often related to material success, right? So people, mothers say, ඔයා හොඳට ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ මගේ පුතේ. ඔළුවට ගාලා කියනවා ඔයා මගේ පුතේ හොඳට ඉගෙන ගන්න, right? So employment. So your mother says you do a very good job, right? Try to find a job which is respectful, a white collar job, right? Then money making, right? And the other thing is gaining success, gaining status. All these things are denoted by the mother, right? All these things are expected by the mother. So each and every time mother is fear of you. අම්මලා හැම වෙලේම ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගැන බයෙන් ඉන්නේ. Therefore they are speaking a lot. ඒ නිසා තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ speak කරන්නේ ගොඩක්. Right? Do this, don't do this, do this and don't do this. So each and every time they are with you to guide you, right? Okay, so then we'll move on to the poem, right? So you can understand from the poem itself, you can understand from the topic itself, you can understand that this is about a mother's fear, right? Fear of losing this girl and fear of her wishes, fear of her, what do you say? her future, all these things. So here, the first stanza, there are 3 stanzas. Each stanza ends with the same line. අපි බලමු. The first stanza. I don't want them to turn my little girl into a swallow. She would fly far away into the sky and never fly again for my strawberry. Oh, she would nest in the eaves where I could not comb her hair. I don't want them to turn my little girl into a swallow. Then the next stanza. I don't want them to make my little girl a princess in tiny golden slippers. How could she play on the meadows? And when night came, no longer would she sleep at my side. I don't want them to make my little girl a princess. And even less do I want them one day to make her queen. They would put her on a throne where I could not go her to see her. And when nighttime came, I could never rock her. I don't want them to make my little girl a queen. So here the writer mentions that I don't want them. The mother is really, really negative, right? So mother says, no, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, right? Each and every stanza, each and every part, the mother says, no, no, no. So this is the anxiety, or as this is the hidden behaviors of a parent, right? So each and every time they are fear of something. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So you can understand the style of the poem is straightforward and simple. The written form, written from the first person point of view, you can understand that the poem is the first person point of view. So I don't want them to turn my little girl. So this is first person. The writer himself writes about himself. Understood? The writer writes about himself. So this is first person narration. The narrator of the poem is probably a common countrywoman. Common in the sense, these words are highly symbolic. Common countrywoman. So what kind of a person is this? Common countrywoman. What kind of a lady is she? Common countrywoman. So what do you mean by common? Common means ordinary. That means each and every place you can find these kinds of parents, right? Or as the people. So here you can understand common countrywoman. Countrywoman means people, rural area, right? අපි Asian culture එකක් තියෙන කෙනෙක් කට්ටියක්. එතකොට countrywoman කියලා කියන්නේ අපේ අර රට ඇතුළට වෙන්න මිනිස්සු. So not the Colombo people, not the people who are from Gaul, and not the people who are being Western culture එකට පොඩ්ඩක් addict වෙලා නැති අය. Countrywoman. She has simplistic wishes and needs. Her wishes are simple. Her needs are simple. She doesn't want her little girl to fly high above the sky. She doesn't want a little girl to make her a little princess, be a little princess, and also a queen. Right? So she mentions that I don't want these things, these high things, this authoritative power, I don't want. Right? So she is a simple and she is a caring mother, as we can see. Her examples are from different ends. So her examples, queen කෙනෙක් වෙන්න එපා කියලා කවදාවත් අම්මා කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ නැහැ. But still, this narrator or this mother says that she doesn't want a small princess. First being a sparrow and then a a princess or queen also moves from present tense when she declares. So she is presenting it in the present tense. When do we use the simple present tense, my dear students? You all can chat in the chat box, right? You all can, I think you can't unmute yourselves and speak, but still you can chat in the chat box. Okay. If you can give me the answers for in the chat box, right? I have chat box aside with me. Okay. So what do you mean by this? What is the use of present tense? Present tense is used to discuss about the common behaviors. In the sense, my dears, present tense is used to discuss about the usual happenings. That means the things that never change. The sun rises in the east, the sun sets down from the past, the flowers bloom, right? Simple present tense. Right? Simple present tense කියන්නේ කවදාවත් මේ දේවල් වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Universal truth. එහෙනම් මේ අම්මා කියනවා මගේ මේ ideologies කවදාවත් doesn't change කවදාවත් වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ පුතේ. Right? මට ඔයාව කවමදාකවත් දකින්න ඕනේ නැහැ queen කෙනෙක් විදිහට. මට ඔයාව කවමදාකවත් princess කෙනෙක් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. I just want you to be simple. I just want you to be set on the floor. මට ඔයාව පොළවේ පය ගහලා ජීවත් වෙන ළමෙක් කරන්නයි ඕනේ. Right? So here the writer mentions like that. The narrator says to the audience, or else narrator discusses about her wishes and needs, which are very simple, which are really, really simple. Okay. Then, for example, I don't want them to turn. So this desire of her does not change. කවමදාකවත් මේක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අද තිබිලා හෙට වෙනස් වෙන දෙයක් නෙමෙයි මේ desire එක. Never ever she wants to make a little girl a princess. Right? So the other thing is, to the future tense, when the mother speculates on the outcome, she is speculating. That means she has imagine what will happen if these things will happen, if these things will occur. She would fly far away into the sky. So here we'll discuss all these things stanza by stanza. Right, we'll move on. The first stanza 1. I don't want them to turn my little girl into a swallow. She would fly far away into the sky and never fly again from bed. Oh, she would nest in the eaves where I could not comb the hair. I don't want them to turn my little girl into a swallow. Right. So here, who are these? I don't want them to turn. Why this narrator mentions I don't want them to turn? Who are these them here? You can see from the poem, you can see in the slide that you can understand. You can see from the slide that there are outsiders who are just discussing, who are just forcing and teaching the people to be ambitious, and who are changing, right? And who are in the who are changing the minds of the people, right? So these are them here, outsiders and outside forces. That means the media, or else the news, or else the social media, whatever it is, right? They will change their desires, right? That teach people to be ambitious. Okay. My little girl into a swallow. You can see the picture, the swallow, right? So you can see the picture. As you can see from the picture, you can understand that the swallow is a bird. It's a small migratory bird which flies away and finds suitable climates. So here you can understand this is a metaphor. This is a metaphor which is started, which is written by, which is given out from the, what do you say? Which is given out from the narrator, right? Swallow is a metaphor to represent that the girl will fly far away from this so-called mother, or as the maternal parent, right? So this swallow is a migratory bird. That means it is flying. Again, migratory birds, they are not staying at one place, no. So the migratory birds, they find a suitable climate for their living and it's living. දැන් ඔය කොහා එන්නේ අවුරුදු කාලෙට නෙමෙයි. People say කොහා අන්න කොහා ඇවිල්ලා ඔන්න අවුරුද්ද එනවා කියලා. No. He find koha is a migratory bird, cuckoo bird. Cuckoo bird is a migratory bird, and it comes to our country when the previous country is not suitable for it to live. කොහා ආපු ගමන් අපිට අවුරුදු වෙනව නෙමෙයි. The April season is really suitable for the cuckoo bird to stay here. That's right. Right? So these are the qualities of the migratory bird. So mother is also feared about her daughter's migration. So she is fear of migrating the girl. That means she is fear of her migration. That means her leaving. Right? She will go abroad or else she will go anywhere else. Right? So then the next thing is she would fly far away into the sky. So when you look above the sky, high above the sky, you can see a very big space is there. So this space discusses about the limitless space. That means the opportunities in which the girl is having, right? In which the girl is moving on. Right? So this sky is a symbol. The writer has used the symbol of sky to discuss about the limited space and also to discuss about the opportunities that the narrator's daughter is having. Right? So she is fear of a migration, and also she is fear whether she will get to know about these opportunities which are high above in her head. Right. And never fly again to my straw bed. This straw bed, what do you mean by straw පුතේ? Straw කියලා කියන්නේ straw bed කියලා කියන්නේ මේ බූරු ඇඳ කියලා කියන්නේ. This straw bed is a meter line, right? Probably this discusses about a very simple line. Right? So it's a image and also it's a symbol. Okay. So here you can understand from this how narrow-minded this mother is. She only thinks of her daughter's closeness. Right? She prefers her closeness and she wants her daughter to stay near with this girl, this mother. Right? So here sort of a way මෙතන මං අම්මා නිවැරදීම කියලා කියන්නේ නැහැ. Right? So here we can't say that's your wish. එතනදී සමහර කෙනෙක් හිතන්න පුළුවන් අම්මා මාරම lovely කියලා. Yes, this immense love will hinder the daughter's wishes and daughter's expectations. Mean daughter ge independence එකට තමයි මේ අම්මා hinder කරන්නේ. So I can't agree with the mother totally, but still up to a certain extent that is maternal love. ඒක තමයි අම්මා කෙනෙක්ගේ ආදරේ. අම්මා කැමති දුව අපේ ළඟම ඉන්නවා නම්, දුව අම්මා ළඟම ඉන්නවා නම්, right? අම්මා කැමති තමන්ගේ දුව තමන් ළඟම තමන්ම හැමදේම කරලා දීදී එහෙම ඉන්නවා නම් mother is very likely. Right? But still, each and every daughter can't do it, right? So that will hinder the independence of this so-called daughter, right? Let's continue. Or she would nest in the eaves, right? She is going to prepare a nest in the eaves where I could not comb her hair. See now here, combing the hair. This mother is having very simple attitude, simple behavioral pattern. So here you can understand where I could not comb her hair. So the writer mentions, or the narrator says that combing her hair makes the narrator pleasure. එයාගේ දුවගේ ඔළුව පීරන එකත් හිස පීරන එක combing hair is also very pleasurable for the narrator. Understood? So here I don't want them to turn my little girl into a swallow. Swallow is again the writer mentions the writer repeats or the narrator repeats that that the swallow is not swallow, the bird swallow, the actions which are denoted by the swallow is not the actions that I want from my daughter. So I don't want them to turn. Them means, I told you, outsiders and the outside forces which make us motivated, or else which gives us the information from the information of the other people and all, right? So this my little girl into a swallow, I don't want them to make. Understood? Let's move on to the next slide. That means to the next let's move on to the next slide. If you have any problem, you can move on. Right. So mother has a fear that the forces in the society would make her girl child too much ambitious in her life. The forces may be media, teachers, instructors, and peer groups, all these people, right? When we discuss with the other people, that means peer groups, right? You can say, you can think that you understand that you change your attitudes, you change your visions, you change your ambitions, right? So it may result in her forgetting the values of the simple life. So mother is fear of doing all this. A child may leave her in such a better luxurious life, leaving her behind. So what this mother needs to keep her daughter so close to her, like every typical mother she feels that even the girl grows up and mature, that her child girl forever. She needs her close to her eyes. Example, where I could not comb her hair. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Right. So here, this is stanza 2. So you can understand from the picture, I have put a picture of a little princess, little girl who is having a throne on her head. I don't want them to make my little girl a princess. So princess this is sort of an exaggeration, isn't it? Which mother doesn't want to make the little girl a princess? Princess right? But still, this mother mentions that I don't want them to make my little girl a princess. I don't want in tiny golden slippers. Golden slippers discusses about the wealthy lifestyle, right? So, me princess la lacy pasu sapattu dandi nae puthi. These are golden slippers, right? So she might not be a person, or she might not be a lady, or as a girl who is standing on their own feet, on his or her own feet. Very simple life pattern is hindered from these things. That's why the mother is fear of. How could she play on the meadows? Right? Meadows are the small meadows are the play areas which are given out. That means outside play area, right? Meadows. So, and when the night came, no longer would she sleep at my side. When she becomes a princess, I don't want them to make my little girl a princess. So this mother mentions that no way. I don't want them to make. Them means them means again here you can understand that them means the people, or as the external forces or external people who are making this girl who are changing this girl's attitudes and ambitions, right? So you can understand the teachers make you more ambitious, or as your friends make you api make karamu macha. So people say, students say like that, right? So there are, and the other thing is social media, social networks. These places are there, change, or else for you and ambitious, right? So a princess is a symbol of the most glamorous position in that a woman can even woman can woman can ever have, right? So the other thing is golden slippers, as I mentioned, it is discussing about the wealthy lifestyle. And also the playing on the meadow means free and enjoyable life pattern that she has used to be, right? So let's discuss further about the second stanza. The speaker fears if her daughter becomes too much ambitious, she may forget and may not be able to enjoy the freedom and happiness as well as the simplicity in life. She fears that this warm relationship between the mother and the daughter will vanish, will destroy, and she may lose her daughter. According to her attitude, that the glamorous social status and materials and can harm their simple and stress-free life. So these are the fears that the mother has. She has a fear that the attraction to materialistic pleasures can shelter the strong, loving, and touching relationship between the mother and a daughter. Right? So you can understand these things. So here, Fear is a poem which is a clear depiction of the mother's fear of losing her little girl, right? The next one, the stanza 3 and the last stanza. And even less do I want them one day to make her queen. They would put her on a throne where I could not go to see her. And when the night time came, I could never rock her. So I don't want them to make my little girl a queen. So yeah, and even less, I do want them. Less do I want them one day to make her queen. This also less do I want them means here. What is the technique used here? What is the technique used here? There are 8 people and there are 9 people, and I think you can reply me. What is the technique used here? And even less do I want them. The people who are there in the YouTube also can chat with me. Okay, what is the technique here? Here is the writer has used the poetic license. This is not actually a technique. This is given out for the writers to be used when writing poems. Okay, so and even less do I want them one day to make her queen. So I don't want. So this discusses, I don't want, right? One day to make her queen. They would put her on a throne. Throne means the kingship, the highest position for the person, right? So the throne represents the responsibility. The throne represents the power, diligence, royalty. All these things are discussed by the throne. One day to make her queen, they would put her on a throne where I could not go to see her. When she becomes a queen, I am the mother of the queen, but still, I also may have restrictions, right? So I also may have some difficulties when dealing with this small when dealing with the queen, right? I also may feel somewhat odd, right? Where I could not go to see her, and when night time came, I could never rock her. Rocking means nalavana. So the parents or as the mother, we love to rock the baby, right? So she won't be able to rock her if she becomes a queen or as a princess. So the narrator repeatedly mentions she doesn't want this complex lifestyle. So she doesn't want this very big thoughts, ambitious life. She doesn't want. She wants the little girl to be simple and caring, and she wants her to lead a calm and quiet life pattern. A very simple, calm and quiet life pattern. And that life will give her blessings, and that life will be the happiest life that she will have. So here, parents who are this poem is a very good representation of very good advice for the parents who are seeking for the materialistic attitudes, right? Amma connect materialistic values හොයන අම්මා කෙනෙක්ට මේක ගොඩාක් වැදගත් වෙන පාඩම් එකක්. එතකොට අනිත් එක තමයි අපේ පැත්තෙන් අපිට හිතන්න තියෙන්නේ we can't change our parents, right? But still they shouldn't hinder your individuality. ඔයාලගේ තියෙන individuality එක ඊට පස්සේ your independence they shouldn't hinder, but still they are just get to take this to your mind, take my words to your mind. They are very fear of your losses, right? ඔයාලගේ පරාද වීම වලදී ඒගොල්ලෝ ගොඩාක් බයයි. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඔයාලට වඩා දුක් වෙනවා ඇති අම්මා, right? So you might have known all these things, right? So අම්මලාට තමයි පුතේ මේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න ටික ඔක්කොම ඔළුවේ තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ. So they are very lovely to you, so they are fear of lose life, fear of your future, all these things. So that's why they are giving advices again and again and again. Don't do this, don't do that, blah blah blah. They are guiding you, right? That's why your parents are like that. Understood? So they are fear, they are anxious, they are having a sort of a wish for your future, but still they are fear of it, right? So they won't tell this. ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ පුතේ ඔයාට වඩා අද මන් දුක් වෙනවා, they won't tell, but still they are understand their feelings, understand their happiness, understand their sorrows. You as the kids who are learning literature, you have to understand your mother's behavior, your parents' behavior, your father's behavior, right? So still you have the time to change. Okay, so we are going to move on to the last stanza's analysis. She fears that her daughter may look down if she climbed up too high in the social ladder in search of materialistic pleasures. So එයා කවදා හරි දවසක when she is climbing up the materialistic ladder, right? Social ladder which is full of materialistic pleasure. Materialistic means money, houses, the wealth, all these things are the materials, right? So අම්මට තියෙන බය තමයි එයා කවදා හරි දවසක ආපහු හැරිලා බැලුවොත් where is my pleasure? She will be really upset. So that's why and එතනදී the daughter will fall down, right? So that's why this mother is fear of. That's why this mother is fear of her daughter. And then also she fears that she might lose the strong bind and the relationship, mother and daughter. So here mother and daughter are having a very strong relationship in between them. So this mother is fear of losing this relationship or fear of breaking out this relationship. So she wants to have a sort of a relationship, that means have a strong relationship that she was maintaining up to now to be stayed forever. And the other thing is, mother says that being too much ambitious and the social pressure may be the reasons for this breakup, according to her. According to the mother's attitude, the being too much ambitious means wishful. People are being too much wishful, and the social pressure may be the reasons for this breakup, according to attitude. Maybe she has witnessed that the desires and material achievements can harm the most and precious human qualities. ඒක මෙයාගේ first hand experience එක වෙන්න පුළුවන් mother, right? We don't know, but still mother says these things. So what are the techniques used by the writer? Yes, what are the techniques used by the writer? The first and the foremost technique that we come across is the repetition to describe about the mother's attitude. So here, I don't want them to turn my little girl into a swallow. I don't want them to make my little girl a princess. I don't. So mother's attitude is repeated again and again and again. So these metaphors are used: swallow, princess, queen. And also the symbols, straw bed, princess, swallow, these also can be taken as symbols. And also it has some kinds of fairy tale elements. The queen, the princess especially, these are the elements of a fairy tale. So the narrator is using some fairy tale elements in the poem. The next thing is the themes. So when we discuss about the themes, my dear students, you can understand that the speaker lives in a rural setting, which shows the atmosphere of the mother and daughter. She hints about the birds and mentions about swallow to compare her daughter's state. Okay, so you can understand that the rural setting, right? So this is one of the most important theme. And the other theme is the tiny golden slipper symbolizes the transformation of the small girl into a matured person, or else independent person. So there will be a matured person and the other thing is independent person, which will be influenced by the society, right? And the other thing is the materialistic words chasing her wants and needs. So she will be busy with she in the sense the people are going to be busy with the materialistic attitudes, right? So then that's why she mentions mage ළමයාට මට ඔයාගේ ඔළුව පීරන්න වෙලාවක් නැති වෙයි මාත් එක්ක නිදා ගන්න එකක් නැහැ I won't have the time to rock her. All these things will be go on, right? She would not have the time for mother. Lack of time is also, not have time is also another thing with the busyness. Lack of time is also another theme with the busyness. Then the important message is transformation and changes. So changes occur and the people are enabled to adapt to the changes which we have to face in our daily situations. So this is one of the main technique. I will highlight this, the transformation and the changes, right? The transformation and the changes. They are inevitable and it is natural process of every human. It is natural, right? Natural in the sense the changes. The one and only thing which doesn't change is the change. The one and only thing which doesn't change is the change. ලෝකයේ වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැති එකම දේ වෙනස් වීම තමයි. Therefore, we have to have an idea that the change should be accepted. We have to accept the change. We have to accept the differences which we have to face in our life, right? It is also natural to feel fear for their children, not only their mother and the fathers too. The poem is very simple and easy to understand. The readers of literature, you can transmit the idea that human relationships are more valuable than any other material success. So in that way, you can contribute to make the world a better place. So here there are two main themes. The two main themes are the transformation and the changes. That is one. I will highlight it with another color. May I use red? Okay. The other thing is human relationships are more valuable than success. So these main rather than life. So these are the two main themes that are there to be discussed. And also matured person and the independent person who would be influenced by the society, right? So this is also another theme. So these are the first and the foremost themes. I will underline it also just because this is very important. These are the themes. Okay. So here you can understand the poem. Do you have any problem, my dears? Do you have any problem? So we have come to the end of our session. Do you have any problem? This is the time for you to have a chat. Yes. This is Adil, I think. No problem. Right. Good to hear. If you have any problem, I have I have my phone number here. You can WhatsApp me or else text me if you have any problem. Okay. Chamila Alasanti, I don't know whether it's your good name. Thank you very much, my dear. If you want more clarifications to be done, you can contact me. My phone number is there. Yes, you can chat me. In the YouTube even you can chat me, the people who are going on live streams. Anybody who didn't understand or anybody who want further clarifications about any point? Okay, thank you. Right. I think we can wind up the session. Can we? Okay, thank you very much, my dears, for joining, and thank you very much, Prabhat sir and the crew. We highly appreciate your great work. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining with us today, madam. ඒ වගේම කියන්න ඕනේ අද දේශනාවට ඔයාලගේ යාළුවන්ට සහභාගී වෙන්න බැරි වුණා නම් පුළුවන් අපේ නනපවුර YouTube channel එකෙන් අද දේශනාව වගේම කලින් දේශනා ආරම්භන්න ආරාධනා කරනවා channel එක subscribe කරන්න bell icon එකත් click කරන්න. ඒ වගේම අද සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න බැරි වුණ යාළුවන්ට මේ දේශනාව share කරන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාලට YouTube එකට ගියොත්. එහෙනම් අපි තවත් දේශනාවකින් නැවත හම්බෙමු. අයිබෝන්.
වාණිජ විද්‍යා ගණිත කලා තාක්ෂණ වේදය විෂය ධාරාවන් වල සියලුම විෂයන් සඳහා විශ්වවිද්‍යාල කතිකාචාර්යවරුන් සහ රජයේ පාසල්වල ප්‍රවීණ ආචාර්ය මණ්ඩලය විසින් මෙහෙයවනු ලබන දේශන නැනපවුර YouTube channel ඔස්සේ නැරඹිය හැක. ඉදිරි දේශන දැනගැනීම සඳහා නැනපවුර YouTube channel subscribe කරන්න. දැයි දූ දරුවන්ගේ අනාගත ජයග්‍රහණයට